The text from Dad arrived on November 25th. And no failures at Christmas dinner. Your presence would make everyone uncomfortable. Maybe next year when you've made something of yourself. I stared at my phone in my real office, the entire top floor of Morgan International's headquarters, watching the winter snow fall on the city I largely owned. On the screens behind me, stock tickers showed my company's latest acquisitions. My assistant Katherine's voice came through the intercom. Ms. Morgan, the property acquisitions are complete. We now own all 5 of your family members' mansions through various subsidiaries. Perfect timing, I smiled, remembering last Christmas when my sister Amanda had mockingly offered to help me find an apartment more suited to my means. Should I prepare the eviction notices? Katherine asked. Not yet. Let's wait for Christmas morning. Nothing says holiday cheer like a foreclosure. My phone buzzed again, Mom this time. Darling, you understand why we can't have you at dinner. Amanda's new CEO friends will be there. We can't have them knowing about your situation. My situation, being the fact that I secretly owned their mortgage companies, investment firms, and now their homes. All while letting them think I ran a struggling small business. Katherine entered with more papers. The final property evaluations are in. Your family's combined real estate is worth approximately $47 million. And how much did we pay? Due to their hidden financial troubles? Less than half that. She smiled. They were so desperate for quick cash they never checked who was really buying. My phone lit up with photos from Amanda. Her mansion's Christmas decorations, her new car, her designer holiday outfit. All paid for with loans from banks I quietly controlled. Status report on their finances? I asked Katherine. Your brother Thomas's hedge fund is underwater. Amanda's tech company is bleeding money. Your younger sister Patricia's luxury retail chain is 3 months from bankruptcy. She paused. None of them can actually afford their lifestyles. And they have no idea their mysterious new landlord is their failure sister? None. The properties were purchased through shell companies. Even their lawyers don't know you're behind it. I stood walking to the window of my empire. Below, holiday shoppers hurried past buildings I owned, carrying bags from stores I controlled, their purchases financed by my banks. Send the eviction notices on Christmas morning, I decided. 9 a.m. sharp when they're opening presents. That's rather cold, Katherine observed. Colder than being banned from Christmas? Than having my family mock my failed business while I secretly built an empire. I turned back to my desk. Besides, I'm giving them a gift, a lesson in humility. My phone buzzed with another family text, the group chat this time. Amanda, wait until you see my mansion's Christmas lights. Thomas, my new car collection looks perfect in the snow. Patricia, the holiday party at my estate will be amazing. Mom, so sorry you can't join us, dear. Maybe when you're more established. I typed back, enjoy your homes while you can. Consider it your last Christmas in them. They probably thought I was bitter. They'd learn soon enough. Katherine, I called as she headed out. Make sure the eviction notices mention their new landlord will be hosting a New Year's party. At my real mansion, the one 3 times bigger than all of theirs combined. Should I include your name? No. Let them show up and see for themselves. I smiled, imagining their faces when they realized their failure sister owned not just their homes but their futures. Outside, the snow fell harder, coating the city that would soon witness the greatest Christmas surprise since Scrooge. But unlike Scrooge, I wasn't learning about kindness. I was teaching a lesson about consequences. December 24th arrived with a flurry of social media posts from my family, each one documenting their last Christmas Eve in homes they didn't know they were about to lose. Another perfect Christmas in our dream home. Amanda posted, showcasing her mansion's grand staircase draped in designer garlands. Holiday party at the estate. Thomas shared, his new cars gleaming in the circular driveway. Christmas Eve in paradise. Patricia's post showed her indoor pool decorated with floating ornaments. I watched their displays of wealth from my office command center, where multiple screens tracked the complex web of their financial disasters. Katherine had prepared detailed reports on each family member's situation. Amanda Morgan Pierce. *3 mortgages on the mansion all through my banks. *tech company hemorrhaging $2 million per month. *personal credit cards maxed out. Asterisk investment portfolio, managed by my firm, down 60%. Asterisk designer wardrobe bought with embezzled company funds. Thomas Morgan. Asterisk hedge fund facing SEC investigation. Asterisk car collection financed through fraudulent loans. Asterisk property taxes 3 months overdue. Asterisk children's private school tuition unpaid. Asterisk gambling debts at my casinos mounting. Patricia Morgan. Asterisk retail chain facing bankruptcy. Asterisk mansion maintenance costs exceeding income. Asterisk staff payroll bouncing. Asterisk personal shopping addiction draining accounts. Asterisk tax liens pending on all properties. The eviction notices are ready, Katherine reported, bringing in the final documents. All properly filed through different law firms to maintain the illusion of separate owners. I reviewed the papers, each one a masterpiece of legal precision. And the timing? Synchronized delivery at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All 5 properties simultaneously. She pulled up the security feeds showing the delivery services preparing for morning rounds. They won't know what hit them. My phone buzzed with yet another family text. Mom sharing photos of the Christmas Eve dinner I wasn't welcome to attend. Crystal glasses sparkled, silver gleamed, and my siblings posed in designer outfits they couldn't afford. Your father and I wish you could understand why we do this, Mom's private message read. Success requires certain standards. I smiled, remembering the meeting earlier that day where my board had approved the acquisition of Dad's company, a hostile takeover he wouldn't discover until the new year. Speaking of standards, Katherine interjected, the audit reports came back on their businesses. Would you like to see how your siblings have been managing their enterprises? The reports told a story of staggering incompetence. Amanda's tech company had been faking user numbers, inflating revenue reports and misappropriating investor funds. Her mansion's third mortgage had been obtained with falsified income documents. Thomas's hedge fund had lost millions in risky trades, covered up by creative accounting and outright fraud. His car collection was funded by stealing from client accounts. Patricia's retail chain was a house of cards, with inventory numbers manipulated, vendor payments missed, and company funds used for personal shopping sprees. They've done quite a job destroying Dad's legacy, I observed, scanning the numbers. No wonder their properties were so easy to acquire. The real estate agents were practically begging us to take the mortgages, Katherine confirmed, though they still don't know all the properties have the same owner. My phone lit up again. Amanda sharing a video of her children in front of their massive Christmas tree. So blessed to give our kids the perfect Christmas in our forever home. Forever home. The irony was delicious. The moving companies are on standby, Katherine reported. As requested, they'll arrive an hour after the eviction notices. All 5 properties simultaneously. And the New Year's party invitations? Sent through the property management firms. Very elegant, very mysterious. They'll never suspect their failure sister is the host until they arrive. I stood walking to my office windows. The city sparkled with Christmas lights, many of them on buildings I owned. Tomorrow my family would learn that their perfect Christmas was their last in homes that were now mine. Should I have security ready for tomorrow? Katherine asked. They might not take the news well. Have teams at each property, I confirmed. But tell them to be discreet. I want videos of their reactions, not a scene. My phone buzzed one final time, Dad's message to the family group. Proud to have such successful children celebrating in their beautiful homes. A perfect Morgan family Christmas. I typed back, enjoy your celebrations. Tomorrow brings changes none of you will see coming. That's rather ominous, Katherine observed. Consider it a preview. I smiled, picking up the eviction notices. Tomorrow they learn what real success looks like. Outside, snow began to fall on the city that had watched me build my empire in secret. In their mansions, my family celebrated their last night of artificial success, unaware that their failure sister now owned every brick of their perfect worlds. The best Christmas gifts, after all, are the ones you never see coming. Christmas morning dawned bright and cold. I sat in my command center, multiple screens showing live security feeds from all 5 family properties. Katherine had synchronized everything perfectly. 8:59 a.m. My family gathered in their various mansions, unaware of what was coming. Amanda's children racing down the grand staircase to their presents. Thomas photographing his car collection in the morning light. Patricia arranging designer gifts under her tree. Mom and dad hosting breakfast in their estate's dining room. 9 a.m. Right on schedule, couriers approached each door simultaneously. Delivery teams in position, Katherine reported. All properties covered. Security standing by. The first reaction came from Amanda's mansion. The security feed showed her face draining of color as she read the eviction notice, her perfect Christmas morning shattering. This has to be a mistake, her voice carried through the feed. We own this house. Actually, her husband read from the document, Morgan Global Holdings owns it. They've owned it for weeks. My phone erupted. Amanda, emergency. Someone's claiming they own our house. Thomas, just got served papers. This can't be legal. Patricia, my mansion's being foreclosed on Christmas? Mom, Richard, call the lawyers now. 9:15 a.m. Right on cue, moving trucks pulled up to each property. Your timing is masterful, Katherine observed as we watched the chaos unfold across multiple screens. Thomas was having a meltdown in his garage, clutching the eviction notice while staring at his soon-to-be repossessed car collection. These vehicles are mine. Patricia had collapsed onto her designer sofa, mascara running. But I just renovated the pool house. The best feed was from my parents' estate. Dad was on the phone with his lawyers, his face growing increasingly pale as they confirmed the legitimacy of the eviction. The properties were all legally acquired, his lawyer explained. Through different companies but all owned by Morgan Global Holdings. Who the hell is Morgan Global Holdings? Dad demanded. I picked up my phone, typing into the family group chat. Maybe you should have invited your failure daughter to Christmas after all. Silence across all feeds. Then explosion. Amanda, what are you talking about? Thomas, this is impossible. Patricia, you can't afford a studio apartment. Mom, Emily, what have you done? I sent them each a document, proof of ownership for their properties, now bearing my signature as CEO of Morgan Global Holdings. Security reports they're all trying to access their accounts, Katherine updated me. Finding them frozen. Time for phase 2, I decided. Send in the audit teams. 10 a.m. As my family reeled from the evictions, teams of auditors arrived at each of their businesses. Amanda's tech company discovered their accounts frozen. Thomas's hedge fund clients received notices of investigation. Patricia's retail chain stores were served with bankruptcy papers. My phone kept buzzing. Amanda, my company accounts are locked. Thomas, the SEC is here? On Christmas. Patricia, all my stores are shutting down. Mom, please let's talk about this. I typed back. Remember last Christmas when you said I'd never understand real success? Check your new landlord's Forbes profile. Katherine brought in the latest financial reports. Their empires are falling exactly as planned. Would you like to see the real-time wealth transfers? On the screens, graphs showed their assets plummeting while Morgan Global Holdings' value soared. Everything they thought they owned was now mine. 11 a.m., the final blow landed. Every family member received an invitation. Morgan Global Holdings cordially invites you to a New Year's Eve celebration. At the Morgan estate. Black tie required. Attendance mandatory for all current tenants. The Morgan estate? Dad's voice cracked through the security feed. But that's your company's former headquarters, I finished typing into the chat. The building you said I'd never be successful enough to enter. I bought it last month. Katherine appeared with more updates. The moving teams are beginning to pack their houses. Should I have their belongings sent to my property's servant quarters? I decided. They can stay there until they learn some humility and basic business competence. Noon. Christmas lunch found my family in various stages of breakdown. Amanda crying in her soon-to-be former kitchen. Thomas drinking in his soon-to-be empty garage. Patricia having a panic attack by her soon-to-be drained pool. Parents stunned silent in their soon-to-be lost dining room. My phone buzzed one final time, a private message from Dad. How did we not see this coming? I replied, too busy mocking my failures to notice my success. By the way, Merry Christmas. Consider this your gift, a lesson in real business acumen. Katherine brought in champagne. The properties will be fully vacant by dinner. Would you like to tour your new acquisitions? No need. I smiled, watching my family's perfect worlds crumble across multiple screens. I'll see them all at the New Year's party. In my mansion. The one that makes theirs look like guest houses. Outside, Christmas continued in the city I owned, while inside their soon-to-be former homes, my family learned the true meaning of success and failure. Sometimes the best gifts aren't under the tree. Sometimes they're served in legal documents, delivered at 9 a.m. on Christmas morning. As evening fell, Katherine brought in the final reports of the day. Amanda's tech company board has called an emergency meeting for tomorrow. They've discovered her creative accounting. Thomas's hedge fund clients are demanding immediate audits. Several have already filed lawsuits. Patricia's retail chain suppliers are freezing deliveries due to bounced payments. And your parents' social circle is buzzing about their sudden, financial restructuring. My phone had finally stopped buzzing, replaced by a deafening silence from my family. The security feeds showed them all packing, their designer Christmas decorations being carefully removed by moving teams. Should I have their things placed in storage instead of the servant quarters? Katherine asked. No. Let them experience life without their luxuries. I watched Amanda carefully wrapping her crystal collection. Besides, the servant quarters of my estate are still larger than my first apartment, the one they mocked as embarrassingly small. A final message arrived from Mom. We never meant to hurt you. We thought we were motivating you to succeed. I replied, Congratulations. Your plan worked perfectly. See you at New Year's in my mansion, wearing the clothes I allow you to keep, celebrating my success. Katherine appeared with one last update. The business news channels want statements about the Morgan family properties changing hands. Should I release the full story? Not yet. Let them discover it at the party. I smiled, watching the moving trucks pull away from my newly acquired mansions. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's making them watch that success up close from the servant quarters of your estate. As Christmas night fell, 5 moving trucks carried my family's possessions to their new, humbler accommodations. In my office, screens showed their empty mansions, their failed businesses, and their shattered illusions of success. Next Christmas, they'd know better than to ban family members from dinner. Assuming, of course, they earned back the right to attend. After all, as their eviction notices stated, success isn't inherited, it's earned. And I had earned every bit of mine.